Oh, great reminder to turn the sound off on the computer. Heard. Let's mute the devices. Good morning. Good morning, everyone. Ah, I did have sound on. None of that. All right. It's officially 10 o'clock. We made it to class. We made it all the way through the week. We made it to Tiny Yoga. Yay! Give yourself a pat on the back. I miss you guys so much. I miss you guys so much. I don't know if I'm going to be able to sustain this not doing lives and trying to create content. I like creating content. I do. I like editing. I like creating visuals and fun shit. And I like giving you guys things that you can download and keep. But also, this is so much more in flow for me to just talk to you about shit. So. So today is Tiny Yoga. In case you're wondering what the heck kind of shenanigans are going on in here, what you will need is just a place to put your butt. You don't even need a nice chair. You don't even need a fancy yoga anything. Hell, you don't even have to have your hair brushed or your teeth brushed or your face washed. You can show up as messy as you are. It's a 30-minute gentle flow for everybody and every space. So I will offer different poses, chair modified, if you need more modification or if the pose is not something that you can get into, I encourage you to meet yourself where you're at today. Honor where you are, offer grace, offer compassion, and if you can't offer those because you're frustrated, then at least offer curiosity and willingness. Be willing to show up for yourself. Be curious about the boundaries that you experience, the pain, the discomfort, as well as the joy and ease. So, let's give everybody a few minutes to settle in. Lots of buffering on my end or yours. Who else? Anybody else have buffering issues? Remember, we are also over on YouTube. So if you are having issues on TikTok, feel free to go over to YouTube. If both places are having issues, then it's my problem, not yours. Yes, Jessica, did you ask her at the beginning? Yes, you did. Yay! Tiny Yoga will, yeah, lots of buffering. Dang it, guys. I have like the highest speed that they'll give me out here. Sorry, friend, my Spanish, Bonnie, my Spanish is not good enough to translate this morning. But if you can translate for me, I'm happy to respond. Or somebody else can translate for me, I'm happy to respond. It is, this is Tiny Yoga class, so we are going to do a 30-minute chair flow. However, we're going to give everybody a few minutes to filter in and hopefully a few minutes to uh, buffer, right? Hopefully, we'll get our Wi Fi up and working. Again, Bonnie, I apologize. My Spanish is not. Thank you, friend. Bonnie, if you wanted to chat with me, send me a message and I can use Google Translate or take a few more minutes to translate what you're saying. Um, if you'd like to communicate with me that way, this is not the space to give my attention to translation. Hey, YouTube, how you doing over there? So again, all you need to have for class is a place to put your butt. Divine EQ, is that what that says? Or just there's just divine E? Divine mass awakening taking place in 2027. Be ready. Till then, people. Yeah, the same way that a mass awakening happened in 2020, and a mass awakening happened in 2012, and a mass awakening happened before that, and the one before that, and the one before that. Maybe we could all just acknowledge the fact that we are on a progressive process, right? We're in the Fibonacci sequence of the entire, with everything else in the universe. And so we are constantly expanding and evolving. And we can choose to get on that ride at any point. We can choose to step onto that track at any point, or we can choose to step off that track at any point. Of course, if we step out of the flow of life, we're going to end up feeling a little bit stagnant and sometimes a little bit stuck and sometimes a little bit lost. And we may feel like life is passing us by because we are so stuck, and often because we are holding on to things that are ready to be washed away. Life is moving all around us. Life offers us a single constant: change. The question is, how do you move with it? Change is always occurring all around you. Do you resist? Do you dig your heels in? Do you hold on to the past, to effigies of things that no longer serve you? Or are you willing to get into the river even if it's rapids, even if you don't know where it's going? I was talking recently to somebody about the term faith. And I don't think faith has to do with believing in certain specifics sometimes. More so about trusting that on the other side, there's at least opportunity. There are at least chances. We're stuck when we don't see any options. And the reality is we always have some kind of choice, even if it's not a choice we like. Thank you guys for letting me therapy myself on that one. Hey, Byron, how are you? If anybody likes, fuck. Byron, I don't even know how to, every time. Byron's just fucking rad, and he offers amazing space, hold space here on TikTok for tapping, and I highly recommend you give him a follow. I'm going to pin him right here. Pin. Haha. Go find Byron. Go tap with Byron. Byron, I don't know what your schedule is, or even if you have a schedule, but I see him on pretty freaking often, and I'm not on social media very often. So go follow Byron. He does all this stuff, and he does it with such a good vibe and holds a great space. And I know there's a fantastic community over there. So really easy, accessible way to offer yourself balance and alignment. So we're almost to 10:10. We are almost to 10:10. Class will start at 10:10. I like to give everybody a few minutes to settle in or to make their way to class. If you know anybody who's a little stuck, feeling a little rigid, or just seeming like they got a broomstick stuck somewhere, tell them to come to class. Send them a link. Send them a message. Have a couple last sips of your coffee or your tea or your smoothie or whatever you've got going. I'll never understand drinking smoothies in the wintertime. You guys are so much more fortified than I am. I am going to make these a little bigger for class so I can try to see the comments, but please note that I will be focused on the flow, not the comments. Today, or this week, is the first week of our Inner Light series, where I am offering tools for every layer of the energy body. In January, we're starting with the aura. So today's class will be focused on our aura, just the awakening of our sensory perception of our energy body. So we are going to go through a normal flow. We're going to have different poses and whatnot, but we're going to go through them with not excessive, with a heightened amount of awareness. And we're going to start getting into that awareness very first thing. So expect today to be a little bit slower than normal. You're not going to speed through anything. We're not really going to focus on like muscle building and getting all buff and beefed out here in chair yoga class. But we are going to go over a couple of the tools. Like I said, I want to offer these tools. I have a schedule to post 2 tools every day of the week. However, I have not been on top of making content. So we'll talk about some of those. I'll answer questions that you guys might have about the content that I have shared, and I will share some more for you, and then I will try to get it out in video form here soon. Moise, how are you? Hi, friend. You coming to class? Or are you just popping in to say hello? All right, I've got my little flow lined out here, so I'm going to tip it so I can see what I'm doing. We have our mudra for the week. It's a nice, simple mudra. Hopefully you've been practicing it a little bit. If not, don't worry. We will close class with our mudra. My knees are already covered in cat hair. It is 10:10. Find the edge of your seat, my friends. It's time to go. How's the buffering going? Have we settled in a little bit with a little less buffering here? Better. Awesome. Yay! I think it fixed Byron when you came in. I think that's what we needed. We just needed some Byron's energy, some Byron. Okay. I adore you, friend. I need to find you and come squeeze you. I feel like I need to. There's actually several of you I need to go find and give some squeezes to. So if you'd like to join me for class, why don't you find yourself the edge of your seat? It can be a wiggly chair like mine. Make sure it won't fall out from underneath you. It can be the edge of your bed. If you are on the edge of your bed, unless you've got one of those really, really nice mattresses that doesn't slump at the side, please don't sit at the very edge of your bed so you don't fall off your chair, okay? Nobody gets hurt in Tiny Yoga because we are present in our bodies. We are aware of what's going on within our system, including our level of stability on our seat. So once you've found the safe edge of your seat, go ahead and bring your knees to shoulder width apart. Place your feet on the ground, lift up through the top of the head, and we're going to just slowly move through the body. We're going to take in some awareness of our energy, and we're going to align our posture with fine detail, fine movement. So first, go ahead and ground into the feet. Wiggle your toes a little bit, wiggle your feet around, just to bring intention to the connection. It can help to close your eyes to bring your awareness down into your feet. So go ahead, if it's available to you, close your eyes and press into your feet just a little bit. As you press into your feet, drag your awareness up through your ankles, shins, and calves. As you do so, imagine that the muscles ever so slightly reach up. Your energy is moving up through your legs. Feel the way that moves in an upward direction towards your knees. Gently lifting. Again, this is just with intention. Very little to no movement in your actual muscles. So lifting through the legs, the lower legs, lifting into the kneecap. Imagine that the kneecap pulls up just ever so slightly. Drag the awareness further into the thighs with intention, turning the thighs inward, keeping your knees shoulder width apart. Your knees are not going to fall in. Keep them shoulder width apart, and just with your intention, roll the thighs inward and pull them up towards the hips. If you feel that shift, as soon as you bring that intention to rolling the thighs in and pulling them up towards the hips, lifting through the entirety of both legs. Just check with your hips, squaring them to the front. You can open your eyes if you haven't yet, and make sure that your knees are the same length here. So level out your knees. That will level out your hips. Tip your tailbone back a little bit. This might require a little bit of adjustment. A lot of us have a tucked tailbone, so tip your tailbone out a little bit as if you've got a tail. You don't want to sit on that tail. You don't want it tucked underneath you. So tip that tail out a little bit. I invite you here, if you feel tension in your low back, reach underneath your butt cheek or underneath your thigh and just pull it out a little bit. This will help tip your sits bones back ever so slightly. You feel how nice that is? Look at that base, that foundation that we've just created, bringing our energy all the way up from our feet through our legs, squaring our hips, tipping our tailbone back so our tail is free to wag behind us. Inhale, lifting the awareness all the way up through the spine. Take your time, go nice and slow, all the way through the entire spine, up to the base of the head, and then lift through the top of the head, as if there's a string lifting your spine, lifting from the top of your head. Bring your awareness into your heart. Lift your heart ever so slightly. Again, this one is an actual movement, lifting with your heart just a little bit. Feel the way your shoulders gently roll back. As your shoulders gently roll back, flip your hands over, palms up in your lap, allowing your elbows to come in just a little towards the body. Let your shoulder blades melt down your back and gently tuck your chin toward the center of your throat. Pause here for a moment. Still lifting from the feet, from the very bottom of the feet, all the way through the body, through the top of the head. So much of the energy lifting, and at the same time, notice the energy now going down. The shoulders, the way they roll back, the shoulder blades going down your back. The energy from your base, from the bottom of your seat, reaching down into the earth, as if you are suspended on the middle of a cable. One end reaching up into the cosmos, the other end reaching down into the earth. In this space of heightened awareness, I invite you to open your mind's eye and just feel into your energy body, your aura. You can ask yourself, what color is my aura today? You can open your mind's eye and look for the colors in your mind space. If you're not a visual person, ask how it feels. What colors and where can we feel them in the energy? I invite you to just explore for a moment, asking, inquiring as to the quality, color, maybe even sound and other sensations of the energy body. It's okay if you don't receive any response. Again, meet yourself with curiosity and willingness rather than judgment, guilt, shame. If you notice something, fantastic. If you don't, let it go. Offer brief gratitude for whatever you've received, even if there was nothing tangible to receive. Offer gratitude for the opportunity to perceive your aura. And then bring your attention to your breath. Without trying to change it, just listen. Notice the quality of the breath. Notice the way your heart rises and falls. Maybe your rib cage expands. Maybe your belly expands too. Maybe it doesn't. Just notice for now. Does your breath have a hitch in it somewhere? Does it skip? Does it feel difficult? Does it feel easy? Is it smooth and soft? Does it sound like you've been running a marathon already this morning? Now, wherever your breath is in this moment, I invite you to match the head, the movement of the head with your breath. So when you inhale, lift the chin up towards the ceiling for the duration of your natural inhale. As you exhale, drop the chin towards your chest for the duration of your natural exhale. If it's a little too fast and you're knocking your head up and down, then let's slow the breath a little bit with intention to come to a more natural pace. And just alternate up and down, keeping this awareness on your energy body, on your physical body, on the breath, on the movement. On your next exhale, come to neutral. Inhale again, and as you exhale, gaze over one shoulder. Either one is fine. Inhale back to neutral. Gaze over the other shoulder. Back and forth, same awareness. Staying with the natural rhythm of the breath. Slowing it down if it's a little bit too fast. Inhale back to center. Exhale completely here in center. Inhale again, lifting the chin up towards the ceiling, and as you exhale, rotate the neck, rolling it around in one direction, your choice. Nice and steady, stay with the breath, stay with the energy. All of your awareness here in this space. When your chin reaches the ceiling again, go ahead and switch directions. And last one, when your chin reaches up towards the ceiling, inhale and exhale back to neutral. You can keep your eyes closed for as long as you'd like, or you can open them if it feels good for you. Go ahead and inhale your shoulders up, back, and down. Rotating them up, back, and down. Just a couple of times, keeping your awareness in the shoulders. Noticing the breath. Switch directions, inhaling them up, forward, and down. Come back to neutral. Flip your hands over, placing them on your thighs, and we'll move into little cat-cows. We're going to start small and expand the movement, inhaling the chest forward, lifting the chin a little bit. Exhale, tuck the chin and push the chest back. Inhale forward, chest, chin, belly. Exhale back, curling towards the back of your chair, tucking your chin. Inhale forward, engaging the hips too now, the whole spine moving forward, and exhaling back, curling the Hips in, the chin in. Inhale forward. Exhale back, opening the shoulders and rolling them down. Inhale forward, last one. Exhale back. Inhale up to neutral. You can keep your hands on your thighs or place them on your hips or on your chair, whatever works for you. We're going to move into some torso circles. So you're going to want to move from your belly button. Hey, Beth, how are you? You're here, yay. Inhale, excuse me. Rotate the belly button. Here we go. Rotate the belly button as if the belly button, I like to think of the belly button as the top of a ladle, the top of a spoon. And I'm using the belly button to move that spoon around my pelvic floor. Get that rotation going and then engage the lower rib cage. Bigger and bigger movements until you have the shoulders engaged as well. Even the head if it feels available to you. Keeping the feet grounded and the knees relatively shoulder width apart as best you can. Rotating in one direction, go ahead and switch directions. Big circles. Oh, that feels so nice on the spine and the low back and the shoulders. Finish up your circles and come back to neutral. Again, resting your hands on your thighs or on your chair. Go ahead and drop the knees back and forth. Wipe the knees. Thank you, Gigi, for the update. I appreciate you guys sharing the live, interacting as much as possible. I know it's hard to interact when you're doing tiny yoga, but it helps us get it out and it helps us keep from getting false violations. So thank you guys. Wiping the knees back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Now, I invite you to hold on to your chair or hold on to your hips. We're going to move into the legs just a little bit. Ready? Inhale your right knee up without support. Don't grab a hold of it unless you really need it. Otherwise, I invite you to just bring your awareness in and see with a nice intentional movement if you can pull it up as high as you can. Point that right toe, bring it up towards the chest, still lifting through the top of the head and reaching down through the pelvic floor. We're not curling our spine here, we're just lifting this knee up and then flex that right foot, extend it out, nice and long, parallel with your hips. Lower it all the way down to the ground, keeping your right foot flexed, lengthened through the spine. And go ahead and place both hands on your thigh and slide your way down as far as is available to you. Once you find your full extension, take your right hand. You're going to twist to the outside of your leg. So take your right hand and drag it across your left arm, all the way across the chest, opening as you reach up and behind, gazing at that back hand. Deep twist, nice long through the spine. Inhale and exhale the arm back down into a fold and slowly roll up. Oh, dog, hi, dog. That one feels nice. Let's do that on the left side, okay? Bring your right knee up to neutral. Both knees hip width apart, shoulder width apart. Ground the feet. Hands on the hips. Inhale, lifting the left knee, point the left toe. Nice long spine. Keep the integrity in your posture as you lift. Inhale. Flex the left foot. Exhale it all the way out. Extended, suspended in the air. Reaching out from your hip, pushing out through the heel. And go ahead and slowly lower with intention to the ground. Don't drop that hammer on the ground. Inhale again, lengthen the spine. Both hands on the thigh and slide down to as far as is available to you. Again, we're going to twist towards the outside of the leg. So once you find the extension that's available to you as far as you can go, take that left hand, slide it across the right arm, across the chest as you slowly Open the upper body, reaching up and behind you and gazing for that back hand. Inhale. Exhale. Sweep the left arm back down towards the leg. Fold. And inhale slowly up. Bring that left leg back to neutral, shoulder width apart, knees stacked on top of ankles. Interlace your fingers at your heart and press your palms up above you for a palm tree sway. We're going to extend again here. Bring intention to your posture. Ground the feet, knees shoulder width apart, stacked over the ankles. Nice long spine. Drop the shoulders so they're not trying to cover up your ears here. We got the plenty of room between the neck and the shoulders and the ears. Pressing the palms up towards the ceiling, nice long through the arms. Inhale. Exhale, tip down to one side, opening the right side body. Inhale up to neutral. Exhale down to the right, opening the left side body. Inhale up to neutral. We're going to go down each side again. This time go just a little bit deeper. So exhale to the left, opening the right side body, and gaze past that right armpit. Just a little bit deeper. Keep yourself grounded in your feet and on your chair. Inhale back up. Exhale down a little deeper, gazing past the left arm as you bend towards the right. Keep those feet on the ground. Keep your hips on your seat. Inhale back up. And release both arms. Give your shoulders a shake. Give them a good shake. Wiggle those arms out. Bring the hands behind you. Interlace your fingers and pull back just with your hands. Open the chest. Lift the chin. Inhale. And exhale. Release. Bring the hands together, palms together at the heart. Inhale, sending both hands up, the palms up together. As you exhale, twist toward the left side. Just move the torso to the full extension of the torso. Once you find the full extension of your torso, open the arms so that your front arm is on the outside of your left knee. Back arm lands on the back of the chair or on the bed. Gaze over that back shoulder and take 3 deep breaths here. Be mindful of your posture. Be mindful of your breath. Release any tension that you find in your system. One more inhale. And exhale, slowly come back towards the front. Don't ever slingshot yourself out of a twist. Thank you for the shares and likes and love, my friends. Bring your palms together again at the heart. Send them up overhead, reaching towards the sky, keeping that nice long spine. Great posture. Turn your torso towards the right, Beth. Turn your torso towards the right side of the body. Once you find the full extension, open the arms so that that front arm reaches the outside of the right knee. The back arm lands behind you. Lengthen your spine and gaze over that back shoulder. 3 deep breaths here. And on your last exhale, let's come back to the front. Pause for a moment here. check your posture. Ground back into the feet. Knees shoulder width apart, stacked over the ankles, so the legs are at a 90-degree angle. Tip those sits bones out, tip those butt cheeks, roll your thighs out just a little bit more. Find that good grounding in your chair again. Look, I'm all twisted. Let's ground down in our seat, lifting up through the top of the head, letting the shoulders melt down, shoulder blades melt down the back. That's what they do. We're going to hold our mudra. We're going to use a couple of the tools here. So our mudra for the week is the Bhairava mudra. There is a masculine and a feminine version of this. So I invite you to try what feels best to you. Thank you, Moses. How are you, my friend? So the Bhairava mudra is a nice, simple mudra where we simply place the right hand into the left palm and rest it here in our lap. It's such a good, soothing mudra. So there is the masculine version, which is this, the solar version, which is the right hand and the left. The lunar or the feminine version is with the left hand in the right. This mudra translates to fierceness, or the gesture of fierceness. It cuts ego clinging. It clears blockages in the aura and helps to clear the mind, helps prepare us for meditation and other contemplative practices. And it imparts a kind of strength to the energy body, a kind of fierceness. I love this mudra and using a mudra that cultivates fierceness by way of quiet, right? By way of contemplation, by way of meditation. The fierceness that I'm cultivating is not some wild, unhinged, chaotic energy. It is a intentionally cultivated strength of purpose. Hey, Brian, how are you? Beth, wonderful observation there. Feminine shows some insane tension in my guts. So again, remember in this space, we meet ourselves with compassion and grace, and if nothing else, curiosity and willingness. So I invite you to, if you find that there is a very big reaction to one or the other, I would actually invite you to first sit with the one that's not giving you a huge reaction. So remember, everyone, as we go through this entire year, I'm going to be offering so many tools. My schedule, my plan is to offer you 2 tools a day for every single week of this year. Let's see, that's 50, that's 2 times 7, 14 times 52. You do that math. That's a lot of stinking tools. So remember that on my Patreon page, thank you, friend, on my Patreon page, I have a downloadable PDF. It's a digital download. I think it's just $5, and it is a way for you to track each of these tools. It has a practice assessment. It has class notes. It has a daily check-in for you, as well as another piece that I'm not thinking of right now, that helps you keep track of these tools and keep track of your reaction to these tools. It's one thing to get a book, right, that tells you all the mudras, or to watch the content that gives you all the asanas for your aura or something like that, or the asanas for your chakras. But if you just go to that class once, where is that record, right? Are you tracking how you integrate, how that practice actually supports or doesn't support you? So I encourage you to go to Patreon. I encourage you to grab it. Like I said, it's just $5. It's a digital download, and you can print as many copies of it as you want. I thought about making a whole journal for you guys, and then I figured cheaper and more accessible is far better than something fancy and more expensive. So go to Patreon. I Move with Change on Patreon, and grab that PDF so you can start tracking these mudras. If you don't have $5 to throw down at a PDF today, then grab a journal and start keeping track of how these mudras and mantras and all these tools affect your energy body, and how effective or not they are for you. You are your own guru, right? Only you can find out exactly how these work with you. I can offer you a million tools, but only you are in your system. So let's sit with our Bhairava mudra. The difference, Bhairava is the masculine, Bhairavi is the feminine. Yes, thank you, Bread Truck Industries, my friend. I'm glad we're on the same page. Yes, the right hand in the left is called the Bhairava mudra. The left hand in the right is called the Bhairavi mudra. And this is the right hand in the left, Bhairava, masculine, solar. Left hand in the right, lunar, Bhairavi, feminine. Either way, we rest this in our lap. Bring intention back to the posture. We're going to sit for just 5 minutes with it. And then we're going to close with an Om. Let me grab my little 5-minute timer here. We're going to sit for 5 minutes, and we're just going to bring awareness to our energy, bring awareness to our body, and just notice if we feel anything. I encourage you to engage in these practices without the expectation of feeling something specific, right? When we go in with an expectation, we are more likely to let ourselves down. But when we go into these practices just with curiosity and willingness to perceive, to receive, to experience whatever's available for the experience, then we greatly benefit, far more than if we set ourselves up for failure with expectations. So I invite you to come into this practice for just these 5 minutes, being willing and curious, and that's all. So go ahead and close your eyes if you haven't already. Hold your mudra, right hand in left or left hand in right. Our timer has begun. We're going to move our awareness with intention deeper into our practice. So I invite you to listen for the sounds that are all around you. Holding your mudra, just turn your attention to the sounds all around you. Every sound that you can perceive, allow your awareness to bop over this one, that one, this one, that one. Allow your awareness to scan your space, touching in briefly and then releasing each sound, not holding too long on any sound. It's like one of those rapid eye movement practices, but we're using our hearing. This sound, that sound, this sound, that sound, this sound, that sound. As you do so, again, begin to loosen up your hearing. So instead of bopping from one sound to another, now we're opening up our hearing a little bit to just hear every sound as one big sound, one kind of like static in the background. Start to pull your attention back into your body, loosening up the attention. So instead of being so pointed, now we're just hearing it all as some background static. Allowing it all to blend together. And in all of this static, all of this background static, there is one sound that separates itself, and that's the sound of your breath. Allow the sound of your breath to become louder and louder, drowning out the sound of anything else in your environment, near or far. Just your breath. Go ahead and slow your breath a little bit if you haven't already. Nothing but the sound of your breath filling your awareness, surrounding you. I invite you to sink deeper into the self, as if your breath is somewhere outside of you now, somewhere further away, as you sink deeper and deeper into the inner spaces of self. Now even the breath falls away as a kind of background static, and you begin to perceive an inner silence. It is in this space that we bring our curiosity and willingness. Open your mind's eye to perceive whatever you might receive in this space, from this mudra, from this practice. Simply being the observer. No need to attach, no need to tell a story, no need to chase any rabbits into rabbit holes. In this depth, simply bear witness. If you'd like to join me, I'd like to close our practice with 3 nice long ohms. If you are new to ohming, I encourage you to lean in, get loud, allow yourself to use your entire lung capacity, your diaphragm, even your belly, to make this sound. Imagine your throat opening nice and wide. We will inhale to begin, and exhale with a again. One more. Release the mantra, release the mudra, bring your hands together into prayer at your heart, or simply lay one over the other in gratitude for today's practice, in gratitude for the movement, for the mantra, for the mudra, for the prana, in gratitude to yourself for taking the time for self-care today. And thank you so much for joining me in this CAYA space for Tiny Yoga, where we can learn and grow and thrive together. When you're ready to come out of your practice completely, I invite you to rub your palms together and warm them up before cupping them over your eyes, allowing your eyes to flutter open behind your hands to ease the transition. My son is all about these animatronics, and I just now was like, animatronic, done. Animatronic over. Hi. How is everyone? Thank you, Jessica. Better, DJ. Good. So remember, everyone, that replays are on YouTube. I am Move with Change on YouTube, and I have been doing tiny yoga now for more than a year, and I have a membership level where you can get all the year's worth of archives, but there are also several months, I believe, that are still out and available for free. There. You enjoyed the ohms, Jessica? Good. So, like I said, the plan here, the intention here, don't make plans, because what happens? Tell God you have a plan, and what does he do? He laughs at you, right? Tell the universe you have a plan. How do you make the universe laugh? Tell it you have a plan. That's the joke. See, I'm not a joke teller. So I said intentions. My intention is to post 2 different tools every single day of the week, and I have been lagging on creating content, realizing that the creation of the content and the actual stuff sometimes gets me really stuck in self-doubt. I was using the term perfectionism before, and I realized it's not perfectionism. It's actually just self-doubt. It's me worrying that the content doesn't look right, doesn't sound right, that the details aren't perfectly good. So I'm doing my best to wade through my own limitations, but you might see the lives coming back sooner, because it is the easiest way for me to share these tools. Yeah, I still want to create content because I want you guys to have stuff to download and to keep for yourself. The intention in creating the content also was to be able to hopefully qualify for the content or the creator rewards program here on TikTok, but that requires 100,000 views every month, and we are only at like 60,000. So so if you guys could do me a favor and share the content that I do create, I will start bringing back the lives, because I know that that is one of the easiest ways for me to share everything and interact with everybody in terms of the stuff, asking questions and sharing them. Hi, Mr. Marshmallow. Jessica, is it effective to hum the Om? It is a different experience. It's a different energy, right? Om, as it is an opening of the throat, a resonating through the chest, through the belly, through the top of the head. When we Om, this is why I encourage you to really get into it, because the intention of Om is not to be a quiet little hum. There is benefit to a nice little hum, right? There is benefit, and there are even pranayama practices and other practices that we will work with this year where humming is part of the practice, right? Or is the practice itself. Om, however, is different. Om is intended to be an open expression of your entire system. It's considered the sound of the universe, and we resonate at the sound of at that frequency when we Om. So Om is not something that all of us are gonna feel into or feel good with the first time we do it, because it's going to hit the blockages. It's going to rattle your cages when you're in places that you're feeling stuck or rigid. So as we learn to Om, I encourage you to either find safe space or be willing and courageous enough to do it in anywhere. Really get into it. One of the biggest things that held me back was fear of the way that it sounded. A couple years ago, when I started teaching online 2 years ago, I was really afraid to do mantras. There is content here in the archives of TikTok that will show you my old mantra content, that I was really trying to share mantras, but I was still very stuck in my throat chakra and feeling very fearful of that expression. I love that they want me to drag the puzzle piece into place after all the, no, whatever. Anyway. DJ read your mind. Mr. Marshmallow, I missed you too. Like I said, guys, I am really missing you guys. I am really missing the lives, and I am also feeling a little bit stuck in the content creation aspect, the thing that I wanted to do. So I think I'm going to have to bring back the lives because they are just more natural. Like I've said a million times over, I'm the person that if you saw me, met me in public somewhere, or we chatted about something, I would just tell you these tools. I would just share these things. Do I like creating content and editing? Yeah, totally. If I had a team of people to edit and help me create these things, we would totally have content out. For me, again, it's not perfectionism. Thank you, friends, for helping me sort that out. It is just self doubt that I struggle to create the content. So I don't want TikTok gone either. But this is the place where we have built this community. This is the place where we have the following. This is the place where we can do most of the interactions. And I love you, YouTube, but you don't go anywhere. I have 550 followers on TikTok or YouTube after, I guess it's only been a year on YouTube, but we at least get the interaction here, right? We've got the community here. And yes, please, thank you, Gigi. Follow on Patreon to make sure you join the Discord and stay connected. The Patreon is my central hub. I try to keep that my central hub for all announcements because we don't know if TikTok is going to stay. We don't know if I post it on YouTube, it's going to reach you, you know. If you have any questions or you're just curious where I am or what I'm doing or what the schedule looks like, come join the Discord or at least just send me a message and you can always ask. Beth, I love sitting on the front and letting people guess what I'm doing. Ooh, Beth. So one of the biggest actual one of the hurdles that I'm experiencing right now, actually, guys, is the fact that I simply can't pay for the platforms that support content creation and scheduling and all this stuff. I usually do the year membership, right, to some of these. And because the income from this is not entirely reliable yet, not yet, yeah, it causes me to lose the tools that I have, right? I have Canva. Hi, Leb. Hey. I have Canva, but I can't create a team right now. As soon as I can pay for that and create a team, I know I have a couple people who are willing and capable of helping me create that content. So if you're one of those people, please reach out, especially if you have a laptop. It's really difficult to do the edits on a phone. So I appreciate everybody who wants to help, but you have to have a bigger screen. You have to have a laptop to do them. Thank you, Beth. Okay, fantastic. You're in the Discord, aren't you? Anybody who wants to help, either send me a message or come. If you're in the Discord, send me a message there. What I'll need to do is create a folder or whatnot in the Discord. I intend to do this before. I need to create a jobs board in the Discord and let you guys know what I actually need. I struggle to ask for help. Look at that. I overschedule myself and then I struggle to ask for help because I don't meet my own expectations. That's the perfectionist. Yes, that is the perfectionist. But if you want to help, send me a message. If you're in the Discord, send me a message. I know I have a couple people who said they wanted to help, and we're literally just kind of waiting on Canva. So I'd like to get everybody together and see how they can help. I do have somebody starting to make music for me, which is really amazing. That way we can avoid the copyright stuff. I saw somebody just a second ago say that they are good with music too. Again, sometimes it's like decision paralysis. I'll go to make content and there's so many options for content creation and the images and the fonts and all this stuff. I'm like, I don't know. Let me go back to like 3 font options and like a couple of colors and let's do it. So, yeah. Yeah. Lab, you asked for image last week. Turned out it was it helped. Yay! Turned out it was COVID. Boo! I'm sorry, friend. I had COVID for the first time in 2024. So, but now I know what it feels like. But I'm glad you're feeling better. Good. My tapestry matches your pants. Beth, I think that we're cut from the same cloth anyway. So. So what are some of the other tools? Let's talk about the tools. The whole point, after me rambling for a while, and asking for your support and encouragement. And I do appreciate you guys and thanking you for being here and sharing this space with me. I love you so much. Also, there are other tools. There are other tools that I have yet to post this week. So, do you guys want to go over some of them? We talked about Om already. We talked about the Bhairava Mudra and the masculine and feminine versions of the Pootie Toots, I love you too. The feminine and masculine version of the mudra. Let's do that again. The Bhairava Mudra. Bhairava Mudra is the right hand in the left. Now, when you do this, I find, depending on how I'm feeling, I will pull it in a little more or out a little more. But the traditional holding of this mudra is with the thumbs slightly overlapping. We're not doing this with the mudra because this is actually a different mudra. So this, where the thumbs are slightly overlapping but not crossing and not touching at the tip, this is the traditional version of the Bhairava Mudra, translating to the gesture of fierceness. Ooh, it feels so good. I love practicing mudras with you guys for so long. Now I've become so much more attuned to these things. So this mudra helps to cut ego clinging. Yay. This mudra helps to clear the mind as well as clear the energy body and the aura. And by way of fierceness, right, imparts a kind of fierceness in our energy body, strengthening our energy body, strengthening our resolve. Again, as I mentioned before, I love this kind of fierceness. It's not some chaotic, I keep seeing like some like sharp tooth, fierce little monster demon thing. When I think about fierceness sometimes, a different kind of fierceness, or what we might consider fierceness in another capacity. But I'd like you to consider the power, again, that comes with a quiet fierceness. My ability to be fierce in stillness. That's mastery, okay? So the masculine version is the right hand on top. The feminine version is the left hand on top. Again, I encourage you to go to Patreon and grab that digital download so that you can start tracking each of these tools that we're going to be learning every week. And with the lives coming back, we're going to be talking a whole lot more about them and practicing them a whole lot more. This also balances the masculine and feminine energies in the body, and I encourage you again to practice both sides with the right hand in the top, in right hand on top and the left hand on top. So the other, one of the other tools, the mantra for this week is Om. We were talking about Om in the sense of the, what's the purpose of Om? Om is the resonance of the universe. It is the echo through everything. It's the sound or the frequency of the universe. And it's okay to take some time to get into learning how to say, how to Om, right? It's a verb itself. Beth, have a great day. And I'll chat with you soon. Right? Om is a verb because we Om. Sir, I'm concerned that you're going to knock over my coffee. Do you need to go outside? Do you need me to put you outside? Son, can you put him outside, please? Yeah. Thank you. Leb, and he's concerned that you aren't giving enough pets. I woke up with a cat snuggled up, like spooning, like little spooning me. I found a cat in my spoon this morning, and a dog behind my legs. Huh? You get the pets. Okay, go. Go. Thank you. Go get your boy.
Was I part of your spoon?
Yes, you were part of my spoon too.
No wonder I woke up in your bed.
Go get your boy. Go get your boy. Throw the ball for him, babe, please. Okay. Furry cuddles, Jessica. Okay. So, what are some of our other tools? So, Om, let's see. The other piece is about Om. Do you guys have any questions about the Bhairava or Bhairavi mudra or any experiences to share? Feel free to do that. Leb, I never get to be the little spoon. Someday. Someday you will. Someday. Let's see. When you're oming, really just focus on opening your chest, using your diaphragm to make that sound, to create that sound, to push the air up through your system. And om comes from way deep down here. We're not going om, om. However, mantras are intended to resonate in your head. So in the West, right, I think we have this kind of maybe fear of speaking into our noses and bringing our speech up here. When you mantra, when you om, I encourage you to use all of your head, your sinuses, your chest, your shoulders, your diaphragm, your belly. This sound echoes through you, through everything in you. And my favorite part about mantras is feeling it echo through my head, echo into my bones. So let's try a couple of ohms here for a moment. I encourage you, especially if you're feeling a little bit nervous about it and you have some safe space to do it, to really try to push that energy through your om. So let's find our posture. We want to make room, right, for our mantra, and we're going to have a hard time making room for our mantra if we're slouched over like this. So lengthen your spine. I always like to imagine, my favorite way to get into posture is to just imagine that cord. Remember, we did this cord before. The top of the string, the top of the cord comes through the top of your head and reaches way up into the cosmos. That thing is tethered into the ether, right? Comes all the way down through the very top of your head, through the center energy channel of your body, and down into the earth, deep all the way into the core. You are suspended on that cable, on that cord. Feel that out. Feel that through your system. Lengthen your spine, reaching up through the top of the head, reaching down through the pelvic floor. Allow your shoulders to gently roll back as you lift your heart. We're not pulling our shoulders back. This is just in the intention of lifting the heart and letting the shoulder blades roll back ever so gently. Melt the shoulder blades down the back. Thank you, friend. I always like to give my elbows a little bit of a wiggle, especially if my shoulders or my arms are feeling a little bit tense or stuck, and I've got a lot of tension in the shoulders, so a little bit of flapping of the wings. Let's take 3 deep breaths, and after each one, I want you to sigh it out. Get used to making sound. Inhale. We're gonna om, guys. Are you ready? 2 more. Inhale again. Big deep breath. Expand the rib cage in all directions, front, sides, and back. And I don't know if I'm ready to om. Dog is gonna get excited. We're making sounds. Last one. Inhale. Inhale. Big deep breath in. And let's inhale again, filling the lungs to full capacity. And open the throat for a nice long Release breath. Feel that. Just that. When you om, I like to start with a big open throat. And as you continue the om, you slowly close the mouth around the sound. As you do, you eventually end up with the part at the end. So let's do that again. And again, I invite you here to notice the resonance. Notice where you feel it. Notice how it feels as you move through the sound from O to Settle the breath. Inhale again, big deep breath. Release the breath. You want to make sure that when you're closing the mouth, you're not biting the teeth together or clenching the teeth together. You want the jaw to remain nice and relaxed, the face, the cheeks to remain nice and relaxed, the brow to remain nice and relaxed. Go ahead and just relax all the muscles in your face. Drop your jaw open for a second. Drop the tongue to the bottom of your mouth, to your lower jaw. Relax, relax, relax. Even relax your ears. Focus on your ears. Relax your ears. Relax your eyebrows. Relax these muscles that you're not used to paying attention to. And now let's take a deep breath in again, and let's do it one more time. Just pause to feel the breath, feel the vibration. Mantra is a personal practice. The more you sit with it, the more it will resonate within you. If you've got that digital download, that PDF, this would be a great practice to start noting, when I sit up like this, I can feel it here. Or when I shape my mouth like this, or when I drop my tongue, I feel it here. It resonates here. Notice the subtleties. Juliana, I love the energetic sensation in my body when I powerfully Om. Absolutely. Sometimes it's the most foundational practices that are truly the most powerful. I really love just the saying, right? The saying, wash, rice, carry, water. Wash, rice, carry, water. And you know what it makes me think of? Om. Sun salutation. Breathe. These simple, foundational practices. When we want enlightenment, when we desire the kind of peace in our lives that we perceive that comes with enlightenment or wisdom, or we want to get out of our stuck patterns and things. Sometimes we can jump really far ahead in our hopes that these really intense, complicated practices are going to somehow free us all of a sudden from being stuck. I was that person too. I used to do that a lot more. I used to go for the most intense practice because I thought it had the most efficacy. I thought it would be most effective. I was wrong. No other words to say about it. I was wrong. The most powerful practices are the foundational ones. Can we receive powerful benefit, insight, alignment, whatever from these other practices? Absolutely. But I invite you, as we move through this year, we're going to move through 12 months of the energy body. And we're not going to go fast. January is all about the aura, all about the layers of your energy body outside of your system. The practices that we're going to learn in January are going to be foundational, basic stuff. Simple breath awareness. Om. The sound, for the frequency that I gave this week in the content is just singing bowls. Just singing bowls. Yeah, glitter bee. Hey, the most powerful practices are the ones you actually do. True that, right? True that. Which is why I always suggest that you start creating a sadhana. You start creating a daily practice for yourself. I took a long time, right? Denying myself a daily practice. And I had a million excuses, and I'm sure you do too, as to why you can't have a daily practice. But the truth is that one day, today, is all you actually have, right? Yesterday is just a memory. Tomorrow is undetermined. Today is all you have. And when we skip day after day after day of self-care and tell ourselves, we'll put it off until tomorrow, we'll put it off until tomorrow, we'll put it off until tomorrow. Oops, the week went by and I didn't get my self-care. Oh well, it's not important. We break trust with ourselves. We don't build the foundation for self-care that actually starts to afford us the ability to grow, to have a foundation to build upon. Juliana, and with asana practice, I love the powerful support from the simple child's pose and the happy baby pose. Ooh, speaking of, I am going to make content for it, but this is one of the videos that I was kind of struggling to make because I wanted to do it in a cool way. I wanted to do different angles, and I'm just stuck with this tripod for my stuff. So, do you guys want to practice the asana for this week? The asana, the yoga pose for this week is simply Tadasana, is mountain pose. And each asana that I'm going to offer throughout this year, I'm going to offer the minute details on how to get into these poses. I'm sure just about everybody probably has stood in mountain pose. If you've ever practiced yoga, if you've ever done a yoga class, you've probably stood in mountain pose or Tadasana. It is the simple, all right, let's do it. If you got a place to stand up, I invite you to come join me for the practice of Tadasana. Tadasana, the simple foundational yogic pose that you're going to need in pretty much every... Hey, my friend, how are you? Divine name sharer. We're going to practice Tadasana. You want to join us? Okay. If you have a place to stand, I invite you to find a place to stand. If you don't have a place to stand, I guess just listen in maybe, and you can do this a little bit later. Let's find a place to put my stuff. All right. You'd love to. Yay! All right, let me just set everybody up so we have the proper angles here. Full length yoga is a little hard to do in these small spaces with limited cameras. But we can make it happen, guys. We can make it happen. I am so cold. I need to go build a fire. All right. If you have a mat, use your mat. Hello, dog. Hi. Hello, sir. Hello, you're going to do mountain pose with us? I love you, too. I love him. I love him. Okay, go. Hold on. Okay, I'll move this. So. Okay. All right. Let's get into Tadasana. Thank you, Gigi. Let's get into Tadasana with intention. So normally you might find yourself, let's move to the front of your mat. Step to the front of your mat, okay? You don't have to have a mat here. Just go ahead. He's gotten so big, Glitter Bee. I know he has. He's such a good puppy. Okay. So come to standing. Bring your feet together. We're going to start in the feet, and we're going to move all the way up through the body. Yay! Up and ready. Feet together. So bring the sides of the feet together, and then spread your toes. Spread your toes as wide as you possibly can. It doesn't matter if you can't spread them at all. It's just about intention. It's just about getting into the practice. So spread those toes nice and wide, and then put them back down on the floor or on the mat. Shift your weight into the balls of your feet. Gently lift and split the heels. This is just a little bit, like you could probably put your thumb between your heels. Ever so slight split of the heels. So again, spread the toes, feet together. Spread the toes, lift the heels slightly and separate them just a little bit, maybe just enough to put your thumb in between. What this does is turn the knees in just a little bit. Now, like we did in the beginning of Tiny Yoga, I invite you to pull the energy, intention, up through your legs. Lift without moving the muscle. Lift in the calf. Lift through the shin. Lift the kneecap slightly. You don't want to lock your knees. We're not locking the knees, especially if you're hyperextended. Please do not lock your knees. We are not bending the knees. Nice, long, straight legs. Lifting the kneecap with intention. Turning the thighs inward more with intention than by moving the muscles. Lift again through the thighs. So you turn them in and up. Square the hips directly in line with your toes. Once you've gotten here, okay, we're at the hips. Look back down at your toes and check. Your feet might be misaligned. A lot of times we have misalignments in our structure that we aren't going to notice until we use these poses. If it's aligned, see, mine's misaligned. I'm going to scoot my right foot forward just a little bit to bring them back into alignment. Spread the toes, slightly separate the heels. Lifting through the legs, lifting through the kneecap, turning the thighs inward and lifting into the hips. Square the hips in line with the toes. Pull the belly button in just a little bit. We're not sucking in our gut. We're just bringing the intention. Pull the belly button in and up into the rib cage. This lifts the heart and allows the shoulders to roll open ever so slightly. Allow the shoulder blades to melt down the back. Turn the elbows in towards the sides. This is going to open your palms. Open, stretch the fingers, pressing the palms forward, not pushing, not moving the arms, just intention. Open with the elbows into the sides ever so slightly. Lifting the energy back up through the spine, through the top of the head, rolling the shoulders back through lifting the heart. Energy leaving the top of the head all the way up, reaching towards the cosmos. Take a deep breath in. As you exhale, gently tuck the chin towards the center of the throat. This is just a small movement. All of these movements are really minor and small, but now you should feel intention in every bit of your pose. Not one part of your body has been unaccounted for. Even your ears. Relax your ears. Relax your jaw. Offer a gentle smile. Send the energy down through your feet and back up through the top of your head. Again, remember that cable that suspends you between the cosmos and the center of the earth. Nice, long, and tall energy on this cable. Take a deep breath in. Fill the lungs, open the chest, fill the belly. Exhale completely and go ahead and release. Oh, there's a note. My team has just completed the first stage of the team quest. Ooh, guys, that's awesome. So, Tadasana. Tadasana, mountain pose, right? Yoga is about our awareness, is about getting into our bodies, is about being fully present in our bodies. You're very welcome, Deborah. So I am going to do my best to create pretty much a video showing you that, and every single week you will receive a different asana for whatever layer of the energy body we're working on. Again, in January, we're working with the aura and the energy patterns in our entire system. So everything we're going to learn is going to be really foundational, really simple stuff, just using it to build a foundation for us to build on or move through later. Words be wording today. So watch for more content. You are very, very, very welcome, my friends. If you have any questions when I post the content, make a comment on the content, because then I can make a video, more content answering your questions. It's cold over there too. I am in Oregon. What part of the UK are you in? I have friends over there, and I was just talking to a friend of mine about moving over there. Where's my coffee? So Tadasana is cold there too, Cyprus. I bet it is, guys. Is anybody warm right now anywhere? Yeah, in South America, right? So how does Tadasana work for our aura and our energy patterns? These simple practices actually really help for just awareness, right? One of the biggest things we're working on when we get in touch with our aura is just the ability to perceive our aura in the first place. DJ, it's not even warm in Texas. Oh man. North Wales. I went through Wales once, and actually I met somebody in Wales who alerted me to the fact that I should never kiss the Blarney Stone. So thank you. Right, Lola? Yeah. So I was actually on a trip from London to southwestern Ireland, and as I was passing through Wales, someone who got on the bus in Wales, and I guess is from there, was laughing about the people who cross through on the bus from London to Ireland, and he's like, they always talk about going and kissing the Blarney Stone, and he's like, the locals do things to the stone, you don't want to kiss it. It's not too cold. Nice. Well, still. So, thank you for the follow, friend. So let's see. Hey, Tony, what's going on? I'm sorry I missed the last session there. My holiday lasted a little longer. The polar bear swim. I don't know how people do that. The cold plunge stuff. So, thank you guys. Thank you. What are we talking about? We're talking about the aura. We're talking about the energy patterns. All of January, everything we're doing is for the aura and the energy patterns. If you missed Tiny Yoga class, remember that the replays are on YouTube. I am at Move with Change on YouTube, and I'm at Move with Change on Patreon. If you want to support the work that I do, the free classes that I offer, there are memberships there to do that. If you'd like to engage in group coaching or private coaching, there are memberships there to do that as well. I post content to Patreon, but it's limited on what I can post, so make sure you follow me here on TikTok. And if you want for all of the content, the main content stream is on TikTok because it's so interactive. The replays are all archived over on YouTube, so go follow me on YouTube too if you want all the archives of the stuff. Everything else is over on Patreon, and all the community engagement is in Discord. The link to join Discord is on Patreon, and it's also free. Also, I have been posting some content to Patreon. If you want to see that, you have to become a member. You can be a free member on Patreon. Yeah, it's you guys that keep the lights on for me, the internet going, and my ability to keep teaching these classes. So I appreciate you very, very much. Lila, it does make you feel warmer for longer after. Oh, the cold plunge? Yeah, so I have various like nervous system things and neuropathy and like neurogenic thoracic outlet syndrome, things like that. Cold is really unpleasant for me, and I've tried it, and I know that people say that it's supposed to like over time, right, make it easier and whatnot. But as soon as I get cold, that tension that starts to build in my system starts to create pain. So I like my warm baths. I will leave the polar bear plunge to those brave souls who plunge, who feel like they want to plunge. So awesome, Jessica. Thank you so much, friend. Spring water saves the same temperature because it comes from the snow, right? Because it comes from the glaciers. All right. Your aura. Your aura. What else? What other practices? What other tools am I offering this week? I have a list of my tools this week. So we have the Bhairava Mudra for balancing the solar and lunar energies in the body and for strengthening the aura, clearing and strengthening the aura. We have Om. Om. What does it do to the aura? It clears the aura. It opens up your energy channels. It fortifies the aura, actually expanding the aura. Um, is that the right place to say it? Just say it because it came up. Okay. In terms of aura awareness, I think a lot of us, when we're learning about the aura, we're curious, how do I perceive my aura? How do I experience my aura? How do I see my aura, right? I promised you guys we would talk about aura viewing in January. But first, I want to start with just the physical sensation of the energy body, which is the aura is a part of. How do you notice that you have an energy body? How do you feel this thing? Some of us feel the weird blah, 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 sensations in our body, or tingling, or these other things going on, right? One of the easiest ways to experience the movement or the experience, the presence of your aura, is to notice when you feel tension versus not tension. So that can be anything, right? Anything that creates tension, whether it's my clenching my jaw, whether it's a tense thought in my mind, whether my breath becomes tense, whether I'm holding my belly in, whether fear or anger. Notice when you experience joy, right? Does it feel like there's pressure on your body, or does it feel like your body's reaching out into the world? When you feel anger or fear, does it feel like your body is pulling in and contracting, tensing, or does it feel like it's opening and expanding? This is the movement of your energy body. This is the interaction between the energy patterns in your system and the experience, the way that affects your energy body. Correct, Edwin. Joy is a release. So it's been going around social media for some time now. The scale of frequency of different emotions, right? The frequency scale of different emotions. It feels like curdling. Yes, Cypress. Well, I love that descriptive of that word there. It does. It feels like curdling. It feels like energy pulling in. That is your energy body contracting around you. That is the visceral experience of your energy body. If you've experienced that, then you have experienced your energy body. A lot of this stuff I think that you guys we're gonna be learning as we move through is really just gonna be about remembering what these sensations and experiences are. When I was growing up, I was gifted my family's lineage of energy work. But before that, I was having really visceral, as most children do, experiences of energy. And I was verbal about it. I was asking, why is this? Why is when somebody hurts my feelings, why do I feel it in my finger? You know, when something scares me, why does it feel like all the cells in my body rush to my heart? Right? And my doctor would just be like, nah, that doesn't mean anything. Wah, 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 wah. The reality is this is your energy moving. Oh, you play the flute. I have a flute, but I don't know how to play it yet, DJ. You guys are talking about water in here. Water remembers. Water has a kind of memory to it. Water responds to energy. You guys have seen the Matsumoto, I think, or whatever his name is. Sorry, I butchered it. Who did the experiment on water and sending different energies to it through speaking? Yes, your words have energy. Yes, your words have power. Yes, the energy that you speak out does affect the world around you. We can see it in the water. Guess what? Your body is made up of some 70 something percent water. So if that experiment with water in cups or jars can affect water that way, how do you think your self-talk affects you? How do you think your self-talk affects you? How do you think the way you talk about others affects you as well as them? Ooh, Jessica, hold on. Jessica and Joy, give me just a second, Leah, because I want to respond to both of you. Jessica, you say, I feel like I have the wrong answer for anger. It makes me feel expanded and larger. So energy, where does anger reside? Where does anger reside in our energy body? Guys, I've paused the comments for a second just so I don't get lost. Where is anger from in our energy body? Anger is actually stored in the gut and specifically in the liver. The root in Eastern medicine, they believe that they talk about the root of anger being in the liver. And therefore also in our digestive system. Our digestive system and our solar plexus is the root of our solar energy, our big, expansive center for will. This is my ability to affect and interact with the world. Before this chakra starts to develop, I don't have a lot of impetus to express me, to make the me big and loud and seen in the world. It's more about connection. It's more about grounding. It's more about getting my needs met. When I come up here, I'm about the age 18 months to 2 years old, right? This is where the terrible twos start. Why? Because our energy, our will, starts to actually express itself as an individual energy. So, anger can manifest from our will, from our need to protect ourselves, from our desire to accomplish something, from a sense of needing that power for something. This is why we talk about anger as being an indicator of something underneath. Fear, sadness. Anger is it is a powerful force. And I hesitate to say always a negative force, because it is a useful force that we can learn to direct. If you are experiencing anger in an expansive way, in a bigger, louder way, I encourage you to learn to navigate and to move that energy. I promise you we will get super deep into that in April, May, June. In June, we are covering the solar plexus. So in June, we will talk a lot about how to redirect that energy, how to pull that energy through the system, how to repurpose that energy. A lot of times, things like anger is mispurposed energy, is energy that is trying to express itself in a healthy way in other ways, but is getting thwarted or redirected or misdirected in a way that then pulls or cultivates it here in the gut and makes us have to get our will expressed or to get our needs met or to get our boundaries protected. Those can come from imbalanced energy patterns. So yes, Jessica. We also have an anger that can be angry and contractive, right? But notice too that anger is still, even if it makes you feel bigger, it's going to still tense your muscles, right? And that's the contractive piece that we're talking about. You may feel bigger, you may feel more powerful, but you most certainly feel tense and contracted. That's where that adrenaline, that's where that extra strength comes from, those sorts of things, the power to do those things. It comes from your solar plexus. It can manifest as anger, but often it is a misdirected energy pattern that we need to heal and realign. So Joy, you ask, your friend Ty or Kai told you that she could see your aura and it's blue. Can you tell me more about that color? So, that's a good question. And you know what? I didn't really think too deeply about whether or not we were going to talk about the colors themselves of the aura, because it's so much more about your interpretation and what feels appropriate to you than it is someone else interpreting that energy for you. It's why I really like to encourage everyone to view their own aura, instead of taking someone else's perspective of their aura. Now, not to say that, right, like everybody, there are people who can see auras and are awesome at it, and it's really fun to hear what someone else's perspective is. But I encourage you to just be present with what that means for you. I can say that, blue is a unique frequency, is its own frequency, is its own energy wave. Just the same way that we can see that the wave of color actually has, right, a wave, just like sound does. It's also the throat chakra energy. So if our energy body appears to be mostly a single color, I would then address that chakra, is usually what I would go and do. Because when I perceive my aura and other people's aura, I almost always perceive it as several different energies moving through, because we have our chakras, which are all the colors, right, of the spectrum of the rainbow. And sometimes I'll perceive one color here, one color there, but I personally have never perceived someone's aura as only one color. So if she's perceiving that in that moment, there might be a reason or a purpose for that, and I would personally just address the throat chakra, or I would address the corresponding chakra. Uh-oh. Some comments in this live were filtered to protect community's experience, you guys. Lila, well said. Anger feels like an initiator. Red Mama Yeti, my right knee is swollen today. The knees are about movement, and the knees are also connected to our sacral chakra. Remember, the sacral chakra is below the belly button and above the pubic bone. It's our bread basket. It's our muffin top. It's our sweet squishy space, right? So this rules the movement and flexibility in the body. So if you're having trouble in your joints, we can address that through the sacral chakra, as well as just through warmth and sweetness, right? Jessica, and it wasn't your dirty cuddle comment? I know, it wasn't. Awesome. Yeah, I'd love to hear about it, Joy. Okay, so noticing your energy. And if you are interested in becoming and improving your awareness of the colors of your energy body, then I invite you to use the moments of awareness of your energy body as an invitation to be present. So fear comes and gets me, right? Anxiety comes and gets me. Worry gets me. Anger gets me. Sadness gets me. Even joy. When you have these moments of bigger, larger, more expansive, or more visceral, even more contractive energies, I invite you to use them as an invitation, because that's what I perceive them to be. Emotions are an invitation for us to be present with our system and to learn to be with the energy flows in our system. Oftentimes, almost every person I've ever met has energy imbalances, has energy patterns that are integrated into their systems. When those energy patterns arise, When we give them our attention and our intention, we can learn to intentionally direct the energy in ways that are more supportive, more whole, more grounding, more expansive than if we just unconsciously let the patterns continue to operate, right? When we let the patterns unconsciously operate within our system, it's called being reactive. And it's those experiences we have where we feel out of control, chaotic, unable to manage ourselves, that our emotions get the better of us, or we have no other choice, right? These are all energy patterns that have been perpetuating in our system for a while. If we leave them there unconsciously, they're going to keep perpetuating the same pattern and oftentimes cause us the same strife and struggle and suffering in our lives. So, when one of these comes up, let's use my favorite example, road rage, because I think everybody's experienced some version of it. If you're out there and someone cuts you off, someone drives in a reckless way that gets you upset or gets you feel fearful or whatever it is, when you notice that experience of energy shifting in your body, let's not even call it an emotion, it's just a shift of energy in your body. Obviously, you're driving, so you can't close your eyes. So bring your attention into your system and ask, what color is that? Where is that? Notice where you feel it in your body, because often where you feel it in your body is going to be associated with that particular color. Sometimes an energy may be here in your gut, but look like a different color. That can indicate an interaction with a different chakra as well. You may not see color at all, ever, or for a long time. This is why we don't place expectation on these practices. This is why instead we show up with curiosity and willingness each time. When we show up with curiosity and willingness, we are more likely to perceive because we are showing up like this, open-handed, as an invitation, versus showing up with expectation and demanding something. We are less likely to receive because we're showing up like this. So whenever your system knocks on your door, asks for your attention, give it your attention. One of the most powerful things that we can do to improve our awareness of our system is to give it our attention. And there are moments during every single day that your energy says, hey! Whether it be through an emotion, or through a thought, or a physical sensation, or a gurgling in your gut. So pause. In the West, I really feel like we have this concept that all of this stuff that happens in the body is just like, oh yeah, it's whatever. Oh, it doesn't matter. Oh, it's no big deal. Oh, it's just this. But everything you experience in your physical self is also being experienced in your energy body. So if you want to know your energy body, you've got to follow the rabbit into the hole, right? You've got to follow the rabbit down. Become a fox and follow these little rabbits. When one pops up, go, oh, interesting. What color is that? Does it have anything to say to me? Where do I feel it? Is it contractive or expansive? We've been taught this idea that these things that happen in our system are not worthy of our attention. Pause for a moment of offering compassion to us and to them and to all for forgetting how important these little tiny experiences are, the foundational things, the awareness itself. If you don't give you your attention, who will? And if you expect others to give their care and attention to you when you are not giving it to you, I guarantee you it'll always fall short. You deserve your attention, honestly, more than anyone else. Put on your oxygen mask first. So start with 5 minutes a day, right? This is my favorite suggestion. Spend 5 minutes every day. Whether you wait for an emotion to come up and then spend 5 minutes, or whether you spend your 5 minutes first thing in the morning, or you spend your 5 minutes last thing at night, or somewhere in the middle of the day. 5 minutes. And just listen. Just observe. Maybe more than 5 minutes. When something arises, pause. I know we're busy. I know the world moves fast. But I think most, if not all of us, when an emotion comes up, can pause. If we do not pause, we are allowing our system to operate on its own. And if you have bad habits in your life, or poor energy patterns, or negative self-talk, you know that the way the system operates isn't always the wisest. Especially if we have vices, right? Leb, I've been considering doing a workshop on self-awareness. It's so key on the spiritual journey. This is why we're starting here in January with this awareness of our aura and energy patterns, because cultivating awareness is the foundational piece, the foundational piece. Without your awareness, you won't be able to see your aura. You won't be able to experience the subtlety of these mudras. You won't really experience the mantras at the depth that is available to you. You won't be getting into the asanas in the same way like we did a few minutes ago. So we talk in this space about what I consider the 4 pillars of the foundation, right? These 4 pillars are my attention, my intention, curiosity, and willingness. My attention is, my intention. My intention is my North Star. It's my guiding light. I hang it up in front of me. It's the carrot on a stick. I hang it out in front of me as my direction. Hopefully this intention is aligned with my beliefs and values and desires for really where I want to go, and not just randomly thrown out there, right? My attention then becomes my compass. My compass, which keeps me focused on my intention. These 2 pieces alone are what get me from point A to point B with intention. If I don't have intention about this, then life is leading me, or other people are leading me, or my unconscious self is leading me through life, and I wonder how I feel, why I feel so victimized, why I feel so lost, why I feel so confused and powerless in my life. Well, because I'm allowing my attention to be dragged around the world, not for my best interest, but for whoever and whoever hooks it and keeps it. In today's world, one of the most powerful, one of the most radical things that you can do is to cultivate your attention, is to bring your attention back home so that it can't be constantly hooked and pulled by every tiny little thing that's going on. When you cultivate these 2 pieces now, my intention, my attention, as we go along this journey, we meet everything that comes up with curiosity and willingness. Judgment, guilt, fear, these are these energies. Curiosity and willingness are these energies. When I travel through life willing to receive, I am guaranteed to receive something. If I walk through life demanding, I am not guaranteed that the world is going to meet my demands. Red Mama Yeti, I get very dysregulated when I get home and all faces demand me. I get guilty for wanting to be alone, learning to give myself grace and space. It is imperative, especially right? Especially when we have a lot of, or especially when we have people depending on us. It is imperative to take the time for self care. That guilt that tells you that there's no time for self care is an imbalanced energy in your system. Offer it love, offer it compassion, offer it curiosity, but it is not in the driver's seat. Guilt does not drive. It can inform you of where your system might be imbalanced or where needs are not being met. It can inform you of old patterns and habits and self-talk that no longer serves you. But we do not let it drive. And I need my awareness, I need my attention to note when I'm letting my guilt drive. When my guilt has taken the wheel and said, we're going to go ahead and skip self-care and do what other people need of us. 5 minutes. I was about to say for a mom, right? Just go lock yourself in the bathroom for 5 minutes. But I know that that's not even possible, right? Sometimes that's not even possible. Do what you can to find those moments alone. They find you, Red Mama Yeti, I know. And at the same time, we also want to remember, oh, this is so hard. This is the paradox, right? Here's the paradox. Life does not stop for us to meditate. Life does not stop for us to find peace and quiet. Life does not calm down for us to be centered and still. It just won't. That's kind of going through life demanding, right? I demand that everybody shut the hell up and sit down so I can have a fucking meditation. We'll end up more tense and further away from meditation and further away from our peace. One of the most important pieces on my journey was sitting with my kid and my dog running around me and just focusing on my breath. Now, it was just 5 minutes, and they were in the same room with me, and they were making plenty of noise, and they were trying to distract me. But I got the 5 minutes in, just my breath. And I found what an opportunity. Because I don't think ever before had I been so challenged to focus on my breath. And I don't think ever before had I heard so much self-talk, so much guilt and shame and fear that erupted out from inside of me while my kid and my dog were running around. They were safe. We were here in the house. Everything's fine. 5 minutes of breathing. My mind was talking to me like I had just broken a cardinal rule of life or something very, very, very terrible. How dare you breathe? Your child needs you. Someone else needs you. I ended up coming out of those 5 minutes laughing. Not only having more peace, but even having some joy. Laughing at how afraid and how guilty my system felt. Whoa. This is that thing about expectation. I very highly recommend breathing. It's very good for your health. And yet we forget. We forget to do it at all. So, what's our tools this week? Bhairava Mudra. Om Mantra. Singing bowl sounds. Tadasana Asana. Tadasana Asana. Mountain pose. I don't do a lot of singing bowl playing on here, but I know there are some really amazing singing bowl players on here. I personally really enjoy Tibetan singing bowls, the brass bowls. But I do know some fantastic creators who do the crystal singing bowls, and those are beautiful too. If you do not yet have yourself a singing bowl, the worst way to clean them is to blow in them, but I can't help it. I do it every time. Kid of the 90s. What do you say? What are you going to say? Okay. You don't need a big one, although they sound really nice. I have had this one for probably some 10, 15 years. Curious if you can hear it. When you find yourself a singing bowl, my favorite practice with the singing bowl, before you learn how to play it, even if you don't know, you can still tap it and listen for the sound. This is about cultivating your awareness, right? Heightening your senses. Listen for the sound, and listen for the sound as far as you can hear it. It works better, obviously, when you have it in person versus here on the screen. But listening for the sound to the very, 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 very end is important for improving your awareness. Yes?
How much longer do you have on your class?
It's noon now. Is your class going? It looks like it's supposed to be started. Can you get your computer going?
Where's
Hold on.
my computer?
Hold on just a sec. Hold on, guys.
After
1 moment.
I know. I wasn't gonna look in there in the first place.
Hold on, guys. I gotta find my kid's computer. Okay. Oh. In here, hon. Here you go.
Thanks.
let's talk about it afterwards, please. Burr. Burr, burr, burr. So, all right, he is set up in his class. I want to do this bigger bowl. Thank you, Jessica. Thank you, guys. Yes, he's doing well. Yes. Remember to go get yourself that the PDF on Patreon so that you can keep track of. The idea is that at the end of this year, after me offering 14 tools every single week, that's 2 tools a day every week for 52 weeks, this PDF offers you the ability to keep track of all the tools and to keep track of your experience of the tools, when you used them, how you used them, and how it worked for you. By the end of this year, my I guess radical movement, right? My thing that I'd like to do is to end the year with a personal journal, a personal notebook full of tools, not just random tools, not just whatever somebody else decided to put in a book for you that you could buy, but a book that you create that keeps track of the tools that work for you and the tools that don't, the way they work, when they work, what they help with and what they don't help with. And by the end of the year, you're going to have an in-depth understanding of every layer of your energy body. And you're going to have tools that support the alignment, the strengthening of it, the clearing of it, the balancing of it in a way that's going to build the foundation for your self-actualization. The reason I'm doing this is to help everybody step on that path towards self-actualization for whatever that looks like for you. If you'd like to come in and do coaching, we can deepen your practice and we can work together one-on-one. If not, there's also group coaching. And if you don't even want to do any of those, you can just receive the tools. The tools will be free. The tools will always be free. This tiny yoga class is going to continue on Fridays at 10 a.m. And yes, I'm going to bring some of the lives back because I just can't hide behind the camera the entire time. I just can't hide behind the content the entire time. This is my favorite way to share the tools. So I will let you guys know when that is going to happen. It may end up being like a Monday, Friday thing where we do Mondays and Fridays. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. Let me know, actually, what works for you. If you're in the Discord, I am going to do a poll to find out if there's a time that works best for everyone to do lives, to do more lives. These bigger ones have such a longer resonance. Oh my god, it's still going. Hold on. Okay, let's try that again. Oh, no, I fucked it up. Get yourself a singing bowl. One or many. Okay. So I still have some content to post this week. I'm going to post a guided visualization. It's going to be a simple guided visualization for imagining golden light all around you, all around your system. The golden light meditation, golden light visualization is a practice for clearing the aura. When we use visualizations, we use our intention. Our intention and our attention together create its own echo, right? It's a energy that we put out into the universe as well as that echoes back to us. So watch out for that. Watch for that visualization post to come up. The pranayama post is also on the way as well. We'll just be practicing simple breath awareness. Again, kind of like we did today in class and kind of like we did a couple of times here, just bringing our awareness into our system, listening to the rise and the fall of the breath, watching the rise and the fall of the heart. All foundational practices. Okay, one last thing I wanted to offer before I go, unless you guys have any questions. DJ, dang, the replay is on YouTube. Don't forget, replays are on YouTube, but I will play the bowl one more time for you. I'll do this one because it was echoing a whole lot more. See? It already started. Okay. This is the root chakra bowl. That one goes for so long. You're very welcome, my friend. Okay, so one last thing I wanted to give you guys. Now there's only 9 people in here, so I have a really powerful tool to give you. It is a new mudra. There's two mudras that you can use for energy clearing. This is a 2 mudra practice to clear the energy body, the aura, as well as any space you are in. Clearing other people's auras, clearing the energy of the room that you're in. This is a really awesome practice that I use often when things are feeling kind of sticky in a situation, whether it's within me or, and remember, we always start with self, right? When taking this practice, yes, I say clearing other people's auras, but listen to this. When you use this practice, please focus on your energy and your energy primarily. Trust that any other energy that needs to be aligned will be aligned when you're doing the practice, but I don't want you guys going out there using these practices being like, I'm going to clear your fucking aura because you got some sticky nonsense in there. We're not using this for judgment. If you use these tools as a form of judgment or condemnation of someone else, I promise you, you will not receive the amount of benefit that is available through these tools. So, Real quick, if you want to share this with anybody, share it really quick, and we will offer these tools. We'll spend a few minutes talking about these tools. I will show you the 2 mudras for clearing your aura or your energy patterns and any room, any space of negative, stuck, uh, rigid energy patterns. Okay, you ready? Okay. It takes 2 mudras, and these mudras are pretty simple. I think most people should be able to do these mudras. So, with your left hand, you take your left hand and you place your thumb between the middle and ring finger. So, kind of like the I got your nose game, right? But instead of here, we're going to put it between the middle and ring. Split your Star Trek hands, right? Stick your thumb between the middle and the ring. Place this fist with your thumb in there on your low back. Bring it back here to your low back, connecting down into your sacral and your root. With your right hand, touch your thumb to the tip of your middle and ring. Yep. Make kind of the bull horns, but be careful. Be very careful. There are 2 really similar mudras here, and I want to make sure that you're picking the right one. If the energy is constipated, touch the pads of the thumb, middle, and ring together. Keep the pointer and pinky up here. Okay? This is called the Karuna Mudra. Karuna Mudra. And this acts as your sage stick. This moves around your energy space or the room to clear the energy. Okay? This mudra releases negative energy patterns, so does this one. When you put them together with the left hand on your low back, like so in the Kashyapa mudra on your low back, and then use this here, now you've activated the ability to clear the physical space around you, the energetic space around you and within you, as well as around the room and around others. If you are constipated, you will put the pad of your thumb on top of the nails of your fingers. This is not going to help you clear negative energy patterns. This is not going to help you clear your aura unless it's literally a pile of shit that's creating a shitty experience for your aura, okay? If your body is constipated, use this. It's called the Apana Mudra. Totally different thing. I'm telling you this because if you're trying to clear negative energy and you press the thumb to the fingernails on here and do this, you'll end up in the bathroom, okay? So instead of ending up in the bathroom, if you just want to clear the energy, make sure that it's the pads of the fingers that are touching, right? This is little shadow dog kind of thing, not this. That pressing down motion is a release of your pelvic floor, okay? Don't do that unless you need to go to the bathroom. This is the Karuna Mudra for clearing energy. Right hand, Karuna Mudra. Left hand, Kashyapa Mudra. Left hand, the fist goes to your low back. This moves around your space and you direct it to clear out energy. There's your first tool. Or your first, maybe not your first tool, for clearing the energy field. But I guess your first, I don't know, not a first of anything. So far this week, we have our Bhairava Mudra. So far this week, we have the Om mantra. So far this week, we have the Tadasana, mountain pose asana, for grounding and strengthening our energy body, clearing and just becoming aware of our energy body. We have singing bowls to help clear our energy and fortify our energy field. We have simple breath awareness to start becoming aware of our energy patterns and of our systems. We have the practice of clearing our aura with more intentional pieces here, doing these things. We also have a golden light visualization meditation, which I'll be creating content for and putting out there. I will also offer the nutrition tip for this week for balancing the aura and your whole energy system is just to eat every color of the rainbow. Just eat every color you can. One of the ways that I focus on nourishing my system is to make sure that I get all the colors. It is true that the different colors nourish the corresponding chakras. So if you want to balance your entire energy system, make sure you're getting a little bit of every color every day. And then we have our stone and herb pairing, lavender and amethyst. I put my amethyst stones in my ears today. Okay, Leb, sounds good. I might be getting off here though in a second. Lavender is calming overall to the system. Lavender opens the crown chakra as well as the third eye chakra, but we're not working with the chakras yet. So for the aura, it just calms the energy, brings a bit of peace to the energy system. And then amethyst has similar properties to lavender. Lavender, as an herbalist, lavender is something that we keep in our first aid kit because lavender can help deal with or help treat someone in shock. It can also help treat anxiety and adrenaline and things like that. So if I always keep lavender on me for emergency situations. Obviously, it can help with sleep, right? Because it's a calming herb. Amethyst, however, can do more in the way of psychic opening, connecting us to higher guides and wisdom, as well as offer a calming, centering energy too. Lavender is my favorite color. Nice. Yeah. So every week, expect a mantra, a mudra, an asana, a sound, a pranayama practice, a visualization, an energy healing technique or an energy clearing technique, a nutrition tip, a visualization, what else? Herb and stone pairing, and I think all those things. And music to dance to. I am going to try to find a weekly video or song of some kind that's just kind of like a regular old song, not a frequency or anything, and post a video to dance to it. So I hope you guys will join me in that as well. Watch for the content. It's slow going right now because I'm trying to change my schedule so that I can make time for doing this and creating the content and get past my own self-doubt in creating the content. I want to start doing more lives again because it's just so much easier for me to share the content on these lives. So you may very well, thank you, friend, you may very well see me come back on at 10 a.m. During the week. 10 a.m. is usually the time, Pacific time, that I come on live. Fridays, Tiny Yoga is live at 10 a.m. every single Friday. But I also know that some folks have not been able to access the live classes because of the timing. So if you are one of those people and there's a time that does work really well for you, whether it's earlier or later, please send me a message and let me know. I can't shift my schedule to meet anybody else's needs unless I know what those needs are. So if you'd like to see class at a different time or you'd like to, touch base at a different time, even if it's a shorter live to talk about these tools, I'm happy to do that at a different time. I just need to know what works for you guys. Otherwise, it's 10 a.m. Pacific time for me, 10 a.m. until, who knows, a couple of hours. So last but not least, always go follow me on YouTube, on TikTok, as well as on Patreon. All those places are free to follow. However, I offer these classes and this content for free. So it's your guys' donations and memberships that keep the lights on, that keep everything running, that keep me being able to pay for the platform so that I can create the content for you. So If you'd like to support me in that way, you can do subscriptions here on TikTok. You can do gifts through TikTok. Patreon is the best way to do so, but I am not going to turn anybody away for whatever direction you want to go ahead and go. There are donation levels of membership. There's also group coaching as well as private coaching available through Patreon. There is a free link to join our Discord. Our Discord space is where we are building community outside of social media and interacting more with the content and going deeper into the material. So, awesome, Jessica. Yay. Let me know how it goes for you. And feel free to share. As we try to build this into something that allows me to keep doing it, any and all support that you guys can offer. It's not just financial. If you guys are sharing the content, interacting with the content, creating content, saying, hey, check out this mudra I learned in class, come join me, right? Or check out this cool PDF that I got, the download that I got so that I can practice these tools. Any of these things, even if you guys see somebody creating content where they're asking for a tool for their aura, for their energy, for their mudra, whatever it is that they need for their mudra or a mudra, tag me in it. Ask me questions on my content so I can make more content. Once we get up to 100,000, apparently 100,000 views each month, we can get into the creator reward program fund thing, which allows the content to pay for itself. And if the content can pay for itself, then I'm not here asking for donations anymore. So whatever way that you can engage and support the content and support this work that I do, I deeply appreciate it. Thank you guys all for your energy, for your time, for sharing, for engaging. You guys are so fucking awesome. And like I said, I miss the hell out of you not doing the lives. So we're going to have to go back to doing some lives. Come into the Discord, please, 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 and vote for when you would like to see classes at a different time, and if you are willing to go into Zoom classes. I would still like to create Zoom space for our community, but I've got to make sure that I am using my time wisely and not spending it all on lives. Yeah, I guess that's all. I love you guys. I hope you have an amazing Friday. I'm going to go make some content and post some more stuff. And I'm going to finally just film myself doing the asana because I've just been really feeling self-conscious about it. And I just need to go ahead and do it. So, Brian, I love you too. I love you too. Mwah, 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 mwah. Come join me in the Discord. Go interact with the content. I love you. I will have a fun time. You guys have a fun time. Go to Patreon and go get yourself that PDF, right? Like I said, it's just $5. It helps me and it helps you, and we can imagine this just for a second. At the end of 2025, this year, 2025, you're going to spend the entire year learning about your energy body, your chakras, your energy patterns, becoming more aware of all of these things, including your triggers, including the negative self-talk and the negative patterns that keep leading you down the fucking pathways that you don't want to go, keep causing chaos and strife and suffering in your life. You want to clear all that bullshit out? Spend this year with me. Spend this year going through these tools. Spend this year recording what tools work for you and which ones don't. And by the end of 2025, you're going to have your packet of tools, of understandings, of insights about your patterns, your chakras, your energy. And by the time we get to the end of this year, I'm going to offer something really, really powerful to boost you through this process of self-actualization. All of these practices and all of these tools are going to help you get to that path and help you refine those practices along your path, the ones that really support you. And by the end of this year, we're going to go places together. Okay? I love you. I will see you later. If you're in group coaching, I'll see you tomorrow at 1 o'clock Pacific.